Hi, I'm Lionel, this is Tech Loto, and today I plan to take these 3 watches for a 5k run. I really want to see their accuracy and how well they capture information while you're running. So starting with the Polar Vantage V, it's very straightforward. Click the button on the lower left hand side, select your training option and start running. With the Apple Watch, you click on workout, scroll down to outdoor run. As soon as you click that, it'll start the workout and you do have the option to pause and start. With the Fitbit, slide to the left or click if you have the shortcut set up. Select your exercise and you can start rolling as soon as you're ready. Don't worry, I've only showed you how to start the activity for the sake of the video. Before I started the run, I put the camera away and I tried to start the watch at the same time to get the most accurate information as possible. As I was running, I was trying to get some footage of the watches and seeing how well they were recording. I've actually noticed looking back that the Polar Vantage V wasn't picking up my heart rate even though it was picking up my pace very well. The other watches are performing just as well, they're picking up the heart rate, they're picking up the pace. Just to stop the shaky cam effect, I try to slow down and actually take time to record every kilometer or so that I can get the most accurate information about how each watch is recording it. You can see that the Apple Watch is kind of overestimating here. There's no way my heart rate is at 177. I wouldn't be able to keep up with that. For some strange reason, the Polar Vantage V isn't recording my heart rate. It's usually very good at recording my heart rate throughout the day, and I find that it's usually the same as the Fitbit, but I think it might be as a result of wearing the watch too tightly. The watch was on me a lot firmer than the Fitbit and the Apple Watch. When I was running, I noticed that the Apple Watch, maybe because I was wearing it at the last section, it did feel a bit loose in my hand and I just didn't feel confident that it wouldn't slip and fall off. And with the Fitbit Ionic and in this 5k run, I've realised that a leather strap is not good for running. It's better to keep the normal rubbery sports watch strap just so that you feel a bit more comfortable while you're running. You can see here that I'm climbing a hill. It's a very steep hill and it takes about 3 minutes to get up there. It's interesting to see how the different watches catch my heart rate because this is where my heart rate was probably peaking the most. So when I got to the end of it, I noticed that the time was the same but there was a little bit of a difference. Now the Apple Watch is underestimating, I feel like the Fitbit is really able to keep up with my heart rate. It matched exactly how I was feeling. It's interesting to see how they all present the data at the end of the workout. The Polar Vantage V seems to have the most information presented, but it is a bit disappointing that I didn't get my heart rate throughout. I wish I noticed that it was on a bit too tight and I was able to adjust it in the middle of the run. But the Polar Vantage V does present a lot of information on the watch. I think they're really trying to move away from that dependence on smartphones. I like the presentation on the Apple Watch. It gives you clear information and it does give you as much as it can. The only thing is it's a bit misleading because it tells you to go onto the app to see more information, but you're not really seeing more information on the app. The only thing that you're really seeing is how you ran on the map. The Fitbit keeps it simple because it wants you to go to the app to view more information. So now that the run is complete, so let's go through the apps to get a bit more information about how they recorded it. Starting with the Apple Watch, let's go to the workout section. The app for the Apple Watch gives you a screenshot for exactly what you've done. The Apple Watch estimated that I burnt about 453 calories. I still believe that it overestimated the distance a little bit because I'm quite confident that that's a 5k run. I've plotted it using an app and it gets closer to about 5 kilometers or 5.05 kilometers than it does to 5.1 kilometers. All 3 watches give me slightly different paces per kilometer, so it just depends on what watch you're using. When it comes to these fitness watches, if you're using the same watch every day for similar activities, even if it's overestimating or underestimating, it doesn't really matter because you'll be seeing if you're improving or if you're not doing as well. That's the most important thing really. So it just means what gives you the most information and the most useful information and how does it present it. Let's move on to the Fitbit. I like how the Fitbit hits you straight away with the map just to let you have a view of the route that you've gone through. I like how it has the mile or kilometer signifiers to let you know which points you're hitting the mile and which points you're hitting the kilometer. It shows you your heart rate zones, and I like that along with the Apple Watch, it picked up when I was going up that hill, that really difficult part. You can see that my heart rate started to climb as I slowly went up the hill. So the Fitbit estimates that I burnt 511 calories, and what I really like here is that it tells you how many steps that you took within the workout. It's important. I think it's a really cool feature and it's something that all the fitness watches should include. So if we move on to the Vantage V, there's so much information here. I think it can seem a bit overwhelming, especially with the presentation. It can seem a bit like too much information, but if you're using this watch regularly, then the information becomes very useful. You can see that it estimates the distance a bit closer to the Fitbit, and this is probably because they both have onboard GPS. I like how it shows me what the ascent was, what the descent was. Another cool thing that stands out here is it shows you how many steps you're taking per minute. I think that's very important for someone who's looking to improve. For example, when I go for these 5k runs, if I'm by myself, I take it easy. I'm not pushing myself as hard as I should be. So now that I know I need to take more steps per minute, I can improve on that. That's a way of stepping up the pace, but not quite pushing myself beyond what I can handle. The Vantage V goes into a lot more detail and tries to cover your power output. I think it does this based on your distance and your heart rate when you're going uphill. It's interesting to see how all three watches present the information. This is the way I see it. As a smartwatch, the Apple Watch definitely stands out above all three watches. It has so much functionality, there's so much you can do in terms of text and calls and storing music, so I think it stands out in that sense. The Vantage V, I would say, has the most information for fitness. If you're someone who takes being an athlete very seriously and you want to actively improve, there's so many features available on the Vantage V. Not just to track what you're doing, but for you to also accurately measure how you're improving in your fitness. So where does that put the Fitbit? Well, one of the best things about the Fitbit is how it presents the information. The Fitbit does so much with what it has. If you look at the app, it's so easy to navigate. It's so easy for you to see the information that you need and digest it, without having to feel like you need to draw up an additional spreadsheet just to process the information. Fitbit presents the information really well, and that's their strong suit. All three watches have their strengths, but it will be for you to decide which watch you're going for. Thank you very much for watching, and remember to subscribe to TechLoto for more in-depth videos, and don't forget to visit the website.